my stamping friends. It's Christine here from Christine's Stamping Spot. Welcome to my Mystery Monday video today for Monday, April the 20th. Oh my goodness, we're heading towards the end of the month. Oh my gosh, it's going fast. So I hope you all had a great weekend, and it is a beautiful sunny day here today. So looking forward to getting out a little bit later. But let's do a project first. So I thought I would take a look at this Capturing Smiles bundle. This is one of our March, actually, online exclusive items, if you're wondering where that is. We do have a new catalog coming starting the beginning of May. So this is not in there. It is one of our online exclusive items, but there will be some fabulous products coming. Very excited. And if you need a catalog, I do have some coming, so just pop me a little note or a comment, and I'd be happy to arrange to get one to you. Okay, so this one, when I first looked at it, I thought, you know what, this would be really great for cards, but also for scrapbooking. So it's always great to have these little camera images and, everyday moments and, just little phrases that you can add. And so we have the the stamp set here with these great stamps, and you even have some little stamped images here that you can fit into this film reel right here. So they fit exactly. You can just stamp it and then give it a bit of color. And we have the dies here that will cut out the camera, the film strip, and some other little accessories for lenses and different things. I am not a camera specialist. I know back in the days, boy, when we got our first cameras, that was really exciting, wasn't it? And even some of you way back, some of those, when the instant photos started, the instant cameras where you got your photo right off the bat, those were always really fun. And they've just evolved so much over the years, right? And with flash bulbs, and then those went away, and then we had the memory cards, and then the just all kinds of different cameras. So really cool. So I thought we would take a look at this and make a card with this today. This is what it looks like. So I've turned it into sort of a birthday card. And I was wondering, gosh, what do I use? Do I use designer paper for the back? What am I going to do? And then how many of you have a lot of extra, just random strips of paper that are left over in your cardstock collections, right? Just from cutting, bases or layers, or, after die cutting. Like, we have so many paper scraps in our collection, and they are great to keep, for smaller items you have to stamp, or smaller things you want to die cut, and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes you get those strips, right? Those extra strips that are just taking up space, and what do I do with them? And some of them, yeah, they're great for greetings, but some might be too small for other things, blah blah blah. So I thought to go with like a striped background. So instead of designer paper, I'm just using cardstock on this card. So let's go ahead and I'll show you how we put this together. Okay, so you're going to start with a piece of basic white, your standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and I will post all of these measurements. Okay, so I'm just going to set that aside. And then I cut another piece of 5 1/4 by 4 out of the basic white, and this is what we are going to attach our strips onto. Okay, so as far as colors go, you can choose whatever color combination you want. Whatever you like that might sort of go together for maybe a particular color family, or mix and match. You can just pick whatever. And the width of your strips is also up to you. I'm gonna cut mine, or these ones were cut at 3/4 of an inch. You could go with 1/2 inch strips. You could go with 1 inch strips. 1/4 inch might be a little small. It might look really cool, but it would take a little bit longer to put those on. So whatever lengths and things you have, because we are going to trim around the edge after. Okay, so I chose Coastal Cabana and Pretty Peacock and Granny Apple Green. So those are the 3 colors I'm going to use. I was debating about Lemon Lime Twist. That would have been really neat too. But I think I'll try with these. I love Coastal Cabana when it comes to spring and summer, beach cards, all that kind of thing. So I wanted to use Coastal Cabana in that too. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is just put some adhesive on this layer, this 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, you could use glue, whatever you wanted. You just want enough on there that it's going to tack down your strips. So I'm going to start from the top left corner to the bottom right, and start with whatever color you like. There's no right or wrong. You just want to make sure that your first strips are a little bit longer because they have a larger space to cover. So I'm going to start with the Granny Apple Green this time. Last time I think I started on my sample with Coastal Cabana. And then you're just going to make a pattern, okay? So if you wanted, I'm using 3 different colors, but if you want to just do 2, that's great. You can do 4, you can do 1 of many different colors, whatever floats your boat, okay? You can just be really creative and have fun with this. Okay, so then, now is this one long enough? Maybe if I flip it. So then you're just going to butt up the next color against the first one, making sure it covers the white. Okay, so we're just going to go kind of in a pattern and play with the lengths. Like you may have different lengths in your collection. You know, some shorter ones, some longer ones. And like I say, we are going to trim off the edges after these are all put down. So I'm going to put that, and then I'm going to start again with my Granny Apple Green. Okay, so I'll put this one next to here. And then I have a little piece of Coastal Cabana that I'm going to put on the corner. Okay, so now we're going to go this side. So I'm going to need a piece of Pretty Peacock. Okay, this is where your pattern, remember learning patterns in kindergarten or grade 1 or grade 2? This is where your pattern matching comes in here. Okay, so then we're going to go again to our Coastal Cabana. Okay, this would be fun even for a Valentine's card. You could do pink and red and white or something, right? You could do different stripes for that, or for fall, you could do some fall colors like your pumpkin pie, your cherry cobbler, your Cajun craze. Like you can kind of, you know, for different times of the year, and Christmas, right? You could do your reds and greens and whatever. Easter that we just had, you could incorporate pastel colors like your Highland Heather, your Bubble Bath, your Pretty in Pink, your Balmy Blue, all of that. Like you can customize it to the seasons as well if you wanted. Okay, so let's put another piece of, this one's pretty long. I'm just going to trim this down a little. Granny Apple Green. And then we need one more piece of Pretty Peacock here on the corner. Okay, so I'm going to set these other extras aside. You can make another card from them. Okay, so this does not look like very much right now, right? So we're going to flip this over, and we're just going to trim those edges off on all 4 sides, okay? And it's going to look pretty cool when you flip it over. And it's kind of fun just to make our own backgrounds too, right? I mean, we have great background stamps. We have great designer paper. But this is a really good way to use up some of those scraps that we have. We're maybe not 100% sure what we're going to do with them, or they're a little too small for something. A great way to use up some of your scraps, I thought. Okay, and there you go. So let me get these out of the way. I'm going to recycle these pieces because I don't think I will need this size anymore. Okay. All right, so now we have this background. Isn't that kind of cool? I kind of like how that goes. And you know what? You could even do it the other way diagonally, or you could do it up and down if you wanted your strips to go that way. You have all kinds of possibilities with how you want to do this. Okay, so let's put this on top of our base. Is this the one I want to use? I was having an adhesive that was kind of falling back on itself, but I think this one is okay. That happens sometimes. So okay, so let's put this on our basic white. Okay, it's going to be like a landscape, but again, you could do it diagonally this way as well if you wanted. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe we could do that for our sample. This one is landscape. Maybe we can fit our piece as portrait. We will play with that. Okay, so now we're going to put our camera together. Okay, so I did pre-stamp and cut some pieces, and I'll show you what I did. So on the Coastal Cabana, I stamped with black memento, or if you have our new hybrid black stamp pad, you could use that. So I cut out the camera image and this little image here, and then die cut them out with the corresponding die from the dies. And then here I stamped this circle on Coastal Cabana. And then for the dies, okay, so I cut out this black one with this die here. And the Coastal Cabana, I cut out with this circle here. And this middle part just pops out, so you don't have to worry about that. And then I cut out the white, I believe that was also with this one, just cut out the centerpiece. Or was it this one? Maybe it was this circle. Yes, sorry, it was this circle here. So it was this little circle here that I used for the white. Okay, so it all kind of had dies that went with what I needed. All right, so let's put this together. So I'm just going to move this up so you can see. So we have our camera here, and there are so many great colors of cameras out there now, right? Really funky colors. So I thought, let's go with Coastal Cabana. That might be fun. So we will put this piece on here. Do not ask me what this piece is. If you happen to know, leave me a comment. I would love to know. I have a cousin that's a fantastic photographer. He lives over in Europe, and he just does all kinds of things and has all kinds of camera equipment, I'm sure, that I don't even know what it's all for. So, all right, I'm kind of a point and shoot girl, and we all have cameras on our phones now, right? So I don't know, how many of you have an actual camera that you use nowadays? Or do you just use your phone cameras? You know, that's really made life pretty easy, hasn't it? Okay, do I have a little, I should, yeah. Okay, that's fine. Now this one, I could put it on the front, this circle, but it kind of covers quite a bit. So I'm gonna put it behind because it fills that gap quite nicely. So I'm just gonna put some adhesive on the back here because this is all gonna get stuck down eventually. Whoops. And we're just gonna fill that circle. We're gonna cover that. And then before we put it on, we are going to stamp a little heart in there. So in the stamp set, there are some cute little greetings. And there's also this little heart. So I'm going to stamp that in Melon Mambo. And now we have this little tab that's sticking out. So I imagine that's like to click or something. I'm not sure what this tab is for, but I'm going to sort of position it to the side, and that way my heart will be in the position I want. So I'm just going to stamp the heart right in the center, like so. I got adhesive on the back. Excuse me. Okay, so then we'll just add a little more adhesive on this white, and then we will position this on this front panel of our camera, right in the center. Okay, making sure our heart is facing the right direction. And there, we've sort of assembled our camera. Okay, now you could probably layer this in different ways. You could cut pieces out of silver foil, or you could make your cameras black with, like, you can do whatever you want as far as the color and what you want your camera to look like with the various papers that we have. Okay, so there's this little hole here on this side, and what I'm going to do there is, like I did on my sample, I'm going to string some baker's twine through there to make it kind of like a, well, it doesn't look like a strap, but you could make it look like a strap. So I'm just going to add some twine in there, see if I can get this in this really, really tiny hole. You might need to cut your end a bit or wet it down. My gosh, this is from the Baker's Twine Essentials pack as well, if you're wondering, or some of you may just have some left over from before, or you could use different colors of twine depending on what your you know, camera color is. There's lots of room for creating and inventing and doing fun things and making it your own. Okay, so let's just tie a bow. You don't have to. I guess we could just leave it straight. You know, that way it would look kind of like a strap maybe too. I don't know, should we do that? Maybe just tie an end here. Let's just decide on that. For now, I have a knot here. Maybe I will make a double knot just to make sure that doesn't come apart. Like so for now. Okay, and we'll play with that if we want to just leave it or if we want to do a bow. We'll see how much room we have on our card. Okay, so let's think about placement here. So I want to put the camera at an angle, but I also have my film reel here. Now, do I want that to go a little higher, or do I want this to go on top? We could do that. And then the greeting in the stamp set is "Love This Smile." I'm just going to fussy cut out the word smile from here because I wanted to say smile, it's your day. We're turning this into a birthday card. Okay, everyone says, say cheese. Oh my gosh, birthday parties, aren't those something else? Especially with the little ones, they love saying cheese. How that even came to be a thing, I don't know, but it's definitely been going on for centuries. Oh my gosh, so many memories when it comes to photos and cameras and things. Oh gosh, okay, so I want to put that up there. And then I want to, I could put the camera on top of the film too. Okay, you know what? I'm going to put this down here, my film reel. Now, I could have put this on an adhesive sheet, but I did not. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue here on the bigger tab at the top, and then each of these little strips in the center. because they have holes on the side. So I don't want to really cover those up, but as long as most of it gets tacked down, because we are going to put those little words on the inside. So let's put our reel, our film reel, right here. Okay, so I went ahead, and when you cut out this film reel, these center squares pop out. Okay, so they come out, well, depending what color, like mine came out black squares. So what I did is I cut it a second time out of basic white. So I have an extra white one I can use at some point. But then I took the squares that came out of there and I stamped "It's Your Day." Now this I found from the coneflower celebrations right here. So I just inked up with a sponge, dauber, each word, stamped it, cleaned it, the next word, stamped it, right? They're a little bit big, especially the "your," but I figured it works, not too bad. And this bundle, this coneflower one, is on the last chance list. So it is still available, but it will be discontinued at some point, okay? So this is where I got the "It's Your Day." If you have a stamp set that has something similar, or if you want to put like these little images inside, you could do that. There's these photo op looking good, you could stamp in there. Or if you have some other small stamp sets, you could do that too, okay? There's this one here too, "You Made My Day." So I don't know if you could do that, or just piece together, puzzle together different words. Okay, so the beauty of these squares is that they fit exactly inside the die that we cut out. Okay, so we're going to put "It's," put something on there, and then we're going to do "Your." Oh, that one's running out. Okay, this is the "Your." It was a teeny bit long, and I did put it at an angle to try to get most of the word on, and I think it's still, you can still read it, so that's fine. And then "Day" is going to go in the last one. Okay, so "It's Your Day." Perfect. And then I am going to pop up this camera on some dimensionals here. And that will be sort of in the center. So it does work doing it this orientation as well, depending what you want to do, right? Or how many pieces you want to add, or how many reels you want to add. Totally up to you what you would like to do. Come on, come off. I'm sure I get all these backers off here. Okay, I think that's right. Okay, so I'm going to put it at an angle, and I might just cover the top of this reel a little bit, but you can still see it, the words. Okay, so like so, and then the smile I'm going to put on with some mini dimensionals. So let's do that. This is very, very thin once it's cut out. I mean, nothing says you have to fussy cut it out. You could just leave it as is, depending what you want to say. Okay, and I'll put the smile at an angle up there. Now, what do we do with this? Because it's sort of hanging over there, maybe we could just tie a bow for now. If you had it in a different position, it might work just to leave it loose, because camera straps are loose, aren't they? But we'll just make kind of a bow for now. It just kind of adds a little something to the card. And there you go. Smile. It's your day. Say cheese. Oh, all good fun. All right, guys, I hope you like that idea. Experiment with color. Experiment with the color strips that you're using for backgrounds. Doesn't have to be for this stamp set, for any stamp set or card that you'd like to make. Like I say, it's a good way to use up some of those scraps. And yeah, this is a really fun set. So I hope you enjoy that project, and we will see you next time. Have a great week, everybody. Bye for now.